Well, well, well. If it is not the infamous Jamahal Sweet Dreams Hill back in the headlines once again. And no, it's not from him winning a fight. No, it's not from him KOing somebody. No, it's not some sort of training footage. It's him and Alex Pereira again. And I got some thoughts on this, and I wanted to show you guys just a few things that went down, give my reaction to this. We're going to take a look at this, the actual interaction that went down, then Jamahal Hill's response to this, because I feel like not everyone has maybe seen this yet. So, I mean, it's just ridiculous. The shit that this guy says, to me, it has to be for attention now. It has to be to get this kind of reaction from the MMA fan base and the MMA media, because I can't think of any other reason that you would say some of the dumbest shit like the things that he is saying. And then I also want to discuss this right here between Alex Pereira and Magomed Ankalaev, and why I think that maybe I have a little bit of a theory with this. I know there's been some other folks out there talking about this, so, and someone has, sent me kind of that there were other people talking about it, so I'm like, okay, maybe I'm not as crazy as I think. So again, a little bit of a theory. I'll save that for the end, because again, that's kind of speculation and just kind of my thoughts, so I don't know if that's really what's going on here. But first, let me play the video, then we can discuss it a little bit, and we'll just kind of go one by one here.
Let's make money. Let's make money. Yeah. Oh, here. That money. That money from that boy being asleep. We're good. We're good. We're good. Boys, we're good. We're good. Boys, we're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. In the tank, boys. I'm trying to
Okay, so you get to see there kind of what's going on here. So that's the gist, right? I mean, how stupid, right? Just how stupid from just all angles here. But really, why are these guys that, my biggest thing is this, right? The UFC tends to do this. We saw this, in the build up to UFC 297. They had Dracus du Plessis and Sean Strickland sit literally right near each other at an event. Like, so the UFC, to me, they have some breakdowns when it comes to certain things. And this is one of them. Why the hell is Jamahal Hill and Alex Pereira training at the exact same time inside the PI? That makes absolutely no sense. The only thing I can possibly think of here is just a lack of, preparing, and a lack of really thinking of anything of it, maybe. I mean, I don't know. To me, you're just asking for problems. You're asking for problems. But I think, like I said, the theory that I'm going to tell you, I believe that this was intentional, right? And I think that this was an intentional thing here, but let's pretend that it's not, okay? And we're not going to go with my theory just yet. We're going to go off of what we just saw here. Why is Jamahal Hill acting like this? Jamahal Hill, you got KO'd at UFC 300 in front of the world on one of the biggest events in the company's history. You got brutally KO'd with a left hook. And this guy is walking around like there was some controversial decision on the way this fight played out. He's acting like, there was some sort of bad stoppage and, things could have just went different. You got starched. There's no questions about it. You committed the foul. You actually threw the very first strike after, the action. Once the action resumed, you threw the very first shot and then got slept with a left hook. So I don't understand this whole bitterness of Jamahal Hill, but what it does, gets his name in the headlines. And Alex Pereira, as many know, whether you like the guy or not, he's probably one of the biggest, even not probably, he is at this point right now. He's one of the most active fighters, one of the faces of the company for sure. So if you keep entertaining issues with him, it's going to get you headlines. And what it's going to do as well is get you closer to that rematch, because Jamahal has seen throughout the course of time inside the UFC, this kind of behavior gets rewarded, right? And what I mean by behavior, stirring the pot, starting some shit, where everyone's whipping their phones out going, oh, look at what's going on here. And then the UFC can take this footage, they can use it in promotion. I mean, for God's sake, Conor McGregor threw a damn dolly through a fucking bus window, and they threw, and he was getting in all kinds of trouble for that, and they throw that in the promo. So all of this kind of stuff is just getting thrown into the vault of the UFC for them to use. And what does Jamahal have coming up? He's got a big fight with Yuri Prohaska at UFC 311. And I still think Yuri wins that fight. But say Jamahal Hill does get a win. He's going around doing this kind of stuff. He's putting himself in a great position, to possibly get that rematch against Poatan Pereira. But guys, I mean, this is ridiculous, right? And he's like, oh, I'm not putting the gloves on. I don't get paid. But then he says, oh, well, I'm just going to I'll just fight you right here, right now. Well, what sense does that make? You're going to fight bare knuckle, probably bust up your hands, bust something up, right? And you're not getting paid for that either. What kind of logic is that? At least if you put the gloves on, you're not smashing your hands up. You're not probably breaking anything. You're getting hit by a glove, not a bare knuckle. And you're not going to bust your hands up when I don't think he would hit Poatan at all. But you got KO'd, dog. You got KO'd. Like, why are you hanging on to this? And this is what happens, guys, with fighters when they go out there and, you've never seen them take a loss before. They've never really had that big L in their career. And sometimes guys they spiral and they kind of go down this weird rabbit hole that we're seeing from Jamahal Hill. Now, I will say this. I don't think Jamahal Hill is as idiotic as what a lot of people think. I really believe that a lot of this is strategic. I mean, maybe you disagree. Like I said, feel free to let me know. There's no way someone is this idiotic with this. There's no way. There's no way. Do I think that he actually thinks he could beat Poatan? He absolutely believes that. 150%. He absolutely believes that. But in order to be a champion at one point, which he was, you got to have some level of delusion, right? You have to think that you're the best. I don't think he ever beats Poatan, but he's doing all of the right things, oddly, to possibly get himself in position to earn a rematch. But to me, the behavior is embarrassing. And then this right here, right in this interview clip that we're going to hear from his YouTube channel, listen to his angle on the run-in when it came to Poatan at the PI.
I was at the PI earlier, and Alex was there. I just finished working out. He was working out, and I just went to go up and have a conversation. Ask him what since we don't have to talk about it across Twitter because I'm right here. Initially when I went up to him, it was smooth. It was like
talk across Twitter. Is it Jamahal Hill the one that's tweeting everything about him? Right? I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
Don't run the heavyweight. I'm gonna go ahead and handle business, and then we need to run this back. We need to run it back.
We actually don't need to run it back, and Poatan's not running to heavyweight. He's just trying to become one of the greatest ever, the first guy to win 3 belts, but okay.
And, in somewhat amongst the exchange, he said something to his translator, and his translator said, he said, you still asleep, or you still woke up and
Are you still sleeping? You know that one hurts Jamahal, man. I actually like that you can't see me here and you just hear my voice in the background. That is hysterical, dude. When I heard this, I was like, that is so funny. You still sleeping from the knockout.
I'm wide awake. I'm wide awake now. You can get put to sleep for real. And then it kind of went to a whole fake ass yeah, come get the gloves and go in the cage, which I replied, what the you need gloves for? We not getting paid right now. You know what I mean? I get paid to fight. I get paid to put on gloves and fight. And when I'm out in a situation like that, we could throw hands right now.
That makes absolutely no fucking sense. That literally makes 0 sense, right? Oh, in the situation here right now, that fake whatever, Poatan's going around to literally every gym on the face of the earth just hard sparring with people. You think he's afraid to get in there and spar with Jamahal Hill at the UFC PI? This guy is out of his fucking mind. This has to be for attention, dude. Has to be for attention. There's no other way. I don't understand. There's no way. And did you see him try not to laugh when he said that Poatan? He's like, oh, you know what he said? Are you still sleeping? I think Jamahal Hill actually kind of finds that funny, but I mean, of course, he won't admit that. Dude, this is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
You know what I mean? I'm not finna take time, put no gloves on and none of that. Just throw hands right now. Which
so that's why you said we don't.
Right, we don't need no gloves. We don't need no gloves. The need gloves for? We got hands right here. And his response was just to stand there. So, you know what I mean? Fuck it. We're going to get paid. I'm not going to ruin my bag. Because here's the thing, right? If I had just reached over and hit him there and we started fighting right there, I could possibly lose out on the fight, on my next fight, and any opportunities I have left. I got restrictions now at the PI and all these other things and stuff like that. So, we get paid. We made a lot of money the first time we fought. Yeah. So why would I not make a lot of money when I knock his ass out the next time? Like, you know, people gonna say what they gonna say. You know what I mean? They gonna sound dumb like they always do, but it is what it is.
Oh, we sound dumb. We sound dumb. We don't sound dumb. We're just calling Jamahal out on his shit. Look, guys, I'm going to say it again. This has to be strategic. I do think that there's some sore loser type of things going on here, but the detail for me that makes it sound like it's strategic to me, we made a lot of money. When he said that, we made a lot of money, so he knows that Poatan is the golden ticket in the division. I mean, obviously, he's the champion, one of the big stars inside the sport right now. That's what this is about. He made crazy money against Alex Pereira. He seized the opportunity for, there wasn't a controversial stoppage here, but there was a little bit of like controversy around it, at least in Jamal's mind. So he seized the window of opportunity. The guy understands the fight business. Like, he absolutely gets it. And he understands if you run your mouth, build these narratives, it gets you places. Whether the narratives are good or not, it gets you in the headlines. It gets people talking like we are right now. But what he's saying makes, all of that aside, it makes absolutely no sense what he just said about the, I'm not putting on the gloves because we're just going to do this here, right now. And he didn't. Remember Michael Chandler from The Ultimate Fighter? We're going to do this. We're going to do this right now. Want to do anything. But you're saying, why would I do that? Because I want to get paid. What is the difference between putting the gloves on and getting in there and just sparring with each other, essentially basically fighting just with gloves on to duke it out, or standing out there bare knuckle and having a scrap where everyone's going to get involved and start pushing and shoving and, all this and that? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, you're literally going to, when you fight bare knuckle, dude, like, you're going to bust your hands up. Or when you're landing on them, you're probably going to bust your own hands up too. That's just spelling for injuries and disaster. And with all the people standing around, that isn't going to happen. You're not going to pull it off. Someone might get a shot in and everyone's going to jump in and be like, whoa, 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 man, whoa, whoa. You know what I mean? You know how that goes. All you had to do was put the gloves on and you guys could have went in there and sparred, but you chose not to. And then you're going to say that Pereira is the guy that's basically backing down. He tossed you the gloves. And he went right on the bag actually after and was hitting pads. I mean, this is just... Jamahal knows what he's doing. Like, it's driving me nuts because it's embarrassing. Like, don't get me wrong. It's embarrassing. I think that he absolutely is a sore loser, and he still, like, has this in his mind that he's, like, better than Pereira, and he's not. Pereira, I think, beats him, I'd say 9 times out of 10. Maybe Jamahal can sneak a shot in there. I still don't think so. Jamal's still a talented fighter. Make no question about it, but he's overlooking Yuri. He's got a big fight coming up against Yuri Prochazka, but again, guys, whether you like him or not, by doing shit like this, he's putting himself in a unique position. Now, last but not least, I want to talk about this, okay? Now, a lot of you on my channel, I'm a big fan of, I like Alex Pereira, and I really like Magomed Ankalaev. So the reason I want to see those guys fight is because I think that it's the best fight in the division. I think that they are the two best fighters. I think stylistically, it is a very intriguing matchup, but for some reason... This is a fight that the UFC is just so reluctant to book. It's something that every time it seems like it may possibly happen or there's some rumblings about it, some shit hits the fan. It just goes sideways and the fight never happens. And the next thing you know, we got the number 8 ranked guy stepping in, to fight Alex Pereira. And there's all sorts of reasons and all different excuses for why Ankalaev is not getting the title shot. Magomed Ankalaev absolutely is next in line for the title shot. However, this right here, again, it's just words. This is concerning to me, okay? And this is where my theory comes into play with the whole Jamahal Hill versus Alex Pereira altercation, all right? Alex Pereira was asked if there has been any discussions regarding a date for a potential fight against Magomed Ankalaev. Nothing was spoke about that yet. Now, that's really concerning to me, right? Now, again, they're asking Alex Pereira, and he's just a fighter. He's not Dana White. He's not, until it comes from, like, Dana White or a reliable source, it's not really on the fighter, per se, to break the news or to kind of talk about that stuff. So I don't know that we should read into it too much. However, if there's ever someone that is just going to get screwed over again, unfortunately, it's going to be Ankalaev. Like I said, I don't know what the hell's going on behind the scenes. I don't know if Magomed took a shit on Dana and Hunter Campbell's desk and the matchmakers or what happened. They just, like, it comes off as like they just don't like Ankalaev. I don't know why. The guy is a very exciting fighter to watch, in my opinion. He's very technical, got very good boxing, very good kicks, outstanding grappling that he basically never uses. And no matter what he does, people find a way to hate. And I think that he is a world-class fighter. Him versus Poatan, there's a storyline here, right? The whole ducking and dodging and why it's not happened. There's a storyline here. But the theory for me is this, right? And you could call me crazy, and I actually put this on my profile, so I'll actually read word for word, I think, what I said. Okay, here's what I said. The more I replay this, the more scripted this looks to me. Why do I feel like they are dialing something up to find a way to skip Magomed Ankalaev again? Maybe I'm reaching or overthinking it. Like I said, all speculation. But we never see Alex act like this. He already KO'd Hill with ease. What does he have to prove here? Nothing. I know Hill was not taken the loss well at all, obviously. But something is fishy to me here. Everyone was quick to start recording, and then Coach Cruz hopping in like that. I don't know, man. Makes me think that if Hill were to beat Yuri, they will give him the rematch and screw Ank over again. Now, you may say that I'm reaching here, right? And again, this is speculation. It's just my thought. But for this just to like happen like this, like at the PI, they know Alex and Hill have history, right? They know that they don't, get along. So they're going to have them both in there at the same time, which to me is a fumble and asking for issues, asking for free promotional tool, right? Like what we saw at UFC 297 when Dana's like, yeah, I don't know who could have possibly have let DDP and Sean Strickland near each other. And then in the post-fight presser, he's like, that was me. That's on me. Come on, man. You guys are basically affiliated with the WWE now. We know you guys know how to market. That's fine. If you want marketing footage and stuff to use, like that's fine. We're all for it. At least I am. I don't have any issue with it. But don't play this like beat around the bush, dance around type of thing. Because to me, what this seems like is they almost said, you know what? We got UFC 311 figured out. We got Islam Makhachev taking on Arman Tsarukyan. We have Merab Dvalishvili taking on Umar Nurmagomedov. Ramadan's coming up. We're getting those guys booked. Why isn't Ankalaev booked? To hear that there's no talks of this happening and to see the fights that just got booked. I understand Islam and Umar being on the same card, and yeah, it's great and this and that. But to me, that's spelling that they're trying to fit those guys in before Ramadan, but they seem like they aren't worried about Magomed Ankalaev getting fit in before then. So what this tells me is they are going to, if Jamahal Hill can beat Yuri Prochazka, they are going to use Ramadan as an excuse for Magomed Ankalaev to not be available, which I believe Ali Abdulaziz has actually tweeted out or through Magomed's account and has basically said, like, I'll fight him in March or whenever. So I think I don't like that. There's nothing else going on. A fair, even playing field for the fight to happen. I just sense the UFC using Ramadan as an excuse to not book the fight. And I see them taking Jamahal Hill, if he could beat Yuri, and put him in another fight against Alex Pereira. Because now they have the footage. They got this beef. They can kind of sell it, even though nobody really cares. But again, there are people that care, I guess. So I just see the UFC moving some pieces here to try to find a way to build a fight to where they know that Alex Pereira would beat Jamahal Hill again, most likely, and then what happens? That's enough time for Tom Aspinall versus John Jones to fight, and then guess what? You can fill in the rest, probably. Poatan would KO Jamahal Hill, move up to heavyweight to take on John Jones or Tom Aspinall, and we never get the Ankalaev versus Poatan fight. Because who was the hardest fight at lightweight for Poatan? It's definitely Ankalaev. I'd say it's Jan Blachowicz and Ankalaev, right? But he got by Jan Blachowicz. That was a close fight. Got by him. They're not going to rebook that fight in the event that he loses. So why would they book the Ankalaev fight? From the UFC's angle, they're seeing it as, man, we possibly have Poatan going up to heavyweight for a massive super fight. Who's the guy that could get in the way of that? It's Magomed. It's Magomed. And they're like, well, if we could build this up and somehow sell it to the public that Jamahal Hill is possibly, he could do it in a rematch. He's not going to do it in a rematch. He's not going to do it. They know that. They're trying to make almost Jamahal Hill think that he can. To do this right here, to get this. Get people riled up, get us all talking because it's working. And then they skip Ankalaev. I smell it. I just smell it. And you know, sometimes you just get like this feeling and you just can't explain like why. And maybe you're wrong, but your senses are kind of tingling, like your spidey senses. And you're like, I just feel like some bullshit's about to happen here. And you're like, I got to get out of here. I got to get out. Something's about to happen. That's how I feel right now. I'm like, I got to get out. Some bullshit's about to happen, man. The bullshit's coming. That's how it feels. That's how it feels. All I want, man, is Magomed Ankalaev versus Alex Pereira. That is the only fight right now that I want to see. A rightful contender, a guy that I believe could actually beat Poatan. If anyone's going to beat him at light heavyweight, it's going to be Ankalaev. Beat Poatan at light heavyweight. The guy to do it is Ankalaev. It's a hard fight, but I think he can do it. I just smell it, man. I smell it. But I want to hear from you all down in the comments. Like this video if you enjoyed. And like I said, let me know what you guys think on this. Do you think Jamahal Hill is kind of building this up? Do you think the UFC, is kind of pushing for this, right? Is there a little bit more of a plan here? Because you got to remember, think about what I just said. John Jones, Poatan's even said that. He's like, if John can get through Aspinall, that's next. We know the UFC schemes. We know that they're smart. Sounds like they may have a plan here. They may have a plan. I don't know. Just my thoughts. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on the notification bell so you not miss an upload. I would greatly appreciate it. See you next time.